I'm here today with Bob Baker of Baker's Piano Center, and Bob has two piano stores, one in Boulder, Colorado, and one in Highlands Ranch, south of Denver, Colorado. And I've been looking forward to speaking to Bob for quite a while because he's a wealth of knowledge and information about pianos and piano industry and just pretty much most things about piano. So here we are today, and I'm going to ask him a few questions. So my first question is, I know that you have a very robust music program that you run through your store. I believe it's at both stores?
Mm-hmm. Both stores, yeah.
And if you can just tell me a little bit about it, what the whole purpose and also what you feel you're achieving through doing this, and just general information.
Sure. Well, Baker's Piano Center is their main purpose is to promote music in the community. That's why our motto is "The music starts here." Basically, is because we try to get people started in music and not just sell them a piano, but sell them the concept of music in their life and in their kids' lives. So we're not just here for a short term, we're here for the long term. And that's what I've been doing since 1977, is promoting music. So I have kids that have bought pianos from me whose kids have bought pianos from me. Second generation. That's how long I've been in the business. Same way teachers whose kids have become teachers who are now referring people to me from over the years. So our main purpose is not just selling pianos, but being a part of the community and helping people realize what music can be in their lives. And that's a very, very important thing for us. And so we have a recital hall in both locations. The recital hall's purpose is to do workshops, concerts, master classes, and recitals for the teachers. So it's a venue for them all to use it. I've had people come in and record. We've had jazz guys come in and record albums. We've had contemporary piano artists come in and record. We've had people do videos in our rooms. We've had TV come in and do commercials and spots and use the pianos. And so we try to have every part of the community, every facet of music become a part of our company. And that's basically the main thing. We have a new location in Boulder now, which changed in November, and that's where we are now. And that recital space seats about 100. Our Highlands Ranch, Denver South space seats about 125. And we will have remote cameras in both places within the next week in order for teachers to come in, record, or workshop people to be able to record themselves. They will go on a computer online. We'll give them a passcode, and they'll be able to forward that then to their students, to their colleagues, or to use it in any way they can. And there's no charge for that. That's a service that we're doing. That's one of the main things we do is a lot of the stuff that we do, a lot of the workshops, there's no charge for. We've had, because of my work in the music industry, we've had people like David Lawns play, a contemporary artist who's pretty famous, a Grammy Award nominee. We've had Rosemary Butler, who sang with Jackson Browne, James Taylor, quite a few people who I've recorded with before, come and do master classes. We've had John Nakamatsu, who was a Dan Kleiber winner in '97, Olga Kern's coming this year. So we do a lot in the industry, and then that's our main purpose, is to really just to be a part of the community in music, not just a piano store, but something that people can come to sharpen up their trade, or the teachers, or the workshops that are being done, and to be able to hear and listen to music. That's a big thing. We have our new recital hall in Highlands Ranch is called Baker Street now, and that's going to be the new name for it. And so we're going to do a collaboration with a few of the jazz guys, Mitch Chimera, Ron Bland, and have a jazz showcase there for students and adults to be able to play, and then maybe do a compilation on a CD. So
that's fantastic.
Quite a bit. I mean, it's quite a bit.
So can you tell me a little bit more about your work in the music industry? You refer to that.
Yeah, well, I've been in the music industry for 33 years. I was with Vaughn's Night Candles, which was an old music store since 77 through 87. I worked at Kiwanis Music Centers. I actually started it in 77 with two other guys for about a year, and then was hired by Wells Music in 88 that I worked through till 2007. And then my son had this store in Boulder and was doing very well and decided to joined forces with him, and we became Baker's Piano Center, the 2 stores, and we became very big, very fast. And that's because a lot of people know us, and they know they can trust us. That's the big thing. For me in the industry, I've been to, the reason that a lot of people come to me for information is I've been to factories in Germany and France, in Europe, and Japan several times for both Kawai and Yamaha, so they all know me really well. And I can make contacts for people. If they want to get the true story, I'll just have them contact either the president or the head of the service department and for any of the manufacturers, because I did a lot of sales training over the years, and I just tell people if you're truthful and you tell the truth the first time, you don't have to remember what you said the second time, which is a lot of the faults of a lot of salespeople. Sometimes we get desperate and they make things up. So I always told people, and our salespeople here too, that being truthful the first time. If you don't know, you say you don't know, and we find out, we'll look it up or call somebody. That's the basic facts of the people that work for us. Our sales force consists of Paul Jarvis, who manages this store, who I worked with for about 20 years. Excellent salesperson, great pianist, graduated from CU here. And we have Randy Brown, who I worked with and started training in 1982. And he worked for Bonsai Campbell's, became a broker for Merrill Lynch and Dean Winter, and then decided to get back in the music business. And so he works for me now in our Highland Drive store. And of course, my son, who's been in the business for years, since he grew up. He's always visited the store, and he's gone to some of the factories with me. So he's very, very knowledgeable.
He's learned the business.
He's learned the business, yeah.
Through you.
Yeah, and he's actually done everything from the bottom up. I mean, he's worked on pianos, he installs piano discs, he does deliveries, he does advertising. I mean, every facet of the music business he has done. So it's not just somebody that's, your father was in the business, you decided to take over the business. He's worked it. Yeah, big thing.
Another question. Even though you mentioned music in your music program, just wanted you to spell out even in more detail what the connection is between pianos and music. And I know it may sound like an obvious no-brainer type of question, but from my end, having serviced pianos for many years, and I see a piano sitting around, and people sometimes they get busy and they stop playing the piano, and after a while they see it as a piece of furniture, which it is. But I guess I just was curious if you had any more insight, what you feel the connection is between music and pianos.
Oh, definitely.
Keep in mind.
Oh, definitely. The most important thing is that when you're thinking about music, there's nothing better than the piano to start with. First of all, because you're learning treble clef, bass clef. You're learning rhythm. You're learning chording. It's like an orchestra in your hands. Any other instrument's more linear. You have one note to work with. You can't really hear the whole picture. You can't do that with piano by yourself. And you don't have to take an instrument around. Somebody's got a piano sitting around, you can sit around and play it. But that's why our motto is the music starts here, because we want them to start with piano first. From there you can branch out, but you can't really start with a linear instrument or a single note instrument or just about anything and go from there into more orchestrated sounds, because your head hears all kinds of music. You can't get that out in anything but piano.
No, that makes sense.
I mean, that's the only thing. You can't, even if you strum a guitar, you can't really solo and strum at the same time. But with piano, you can actually, play a bass line, and you can chord like a guitar would be, and you can still solo, and you can sing.
Sure.
So it helps not only that, it also helps pitch. As kids are learning, they learn not only rhythm and music, but they also learn a big thing. The big thing is their ear is able to hear octaves and fifths and thirds. And you really don't study that in guitar, and you really don't study, you hear a little bit in violin stuff, but you don't really hear that because you've only got a shorter range in all those instruments. Mm-hmm. Whereas a piano with 88 keys has the biggest range that there is.
Yes.
And that's what all the ranges are based on, basically.